All right, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining another Cyber Thursday session. My name is Gabriel, and I'm the Business Development Manager here at Technorizon UK. Today, we'll be talking about Prot On and how it can help you secure your files and make sure that only the right person and right personnel can access the data. Prot On, as you can see here, is as a information rights manager, but throughout the session, you'll see that Prot On is much more than RIM. So just for a few notice before we start, please write if you have any questions, please write them down on the right side of the page. So at the end of the session, I will be able to answer them. And also, if this is being recorded, so if you want to share with a colleague or watch it later too, you'll be able to access on our social media or on our website. So let's begin, shall we? So just a overview and about the internet and what's going on in our daily lives throughout the cybersecurity and also the internet. Who is not, for example, who is not sharing confidential information throughout the cloud and also files and emails, etc. Companies are constantly sharing confidential documents externally. However, we all know that information leakage is one of the most occurring things around. And one of the things that you have to pay attention is that unhappy employees, hacktivists, and cyber criminals can do that against you. So you gotta always watch out for it. And one of a very important number that I want to share with you is that cybersecurity is moving right now at $100 billion market per year. It's a crazy stat. However, enterprise and individuals still don't know how to keep control of the information they share in the internet. So we'll cover today a little bit about that. So RIM is a much needed complement to security. Organizations are using multiple technology for protecting the information. For example, one of them is DLP, which is data leak prevention, for protecting company boundaries. And also another form of solution that they're using is the RAM, which is information rights management, for controlling access to the information, who is accessing, who is doing what, and the families of the solutions. These solutions complement each other, and with other specific solutions for protecting storage, mail, and many others. While RAM complements other technologies, when information is constrained to the organization and boundary circles of trust, it becomes the only solution in the market when we think that external recipients can resend or unsafely store our information without our knowledge. So RAM is much needed for many verticals to control who is accessing the data and where and from where. Another really good thing that makes Prot On go an extra mile, and that's why I mentioned that Prot On is not only a RAM, is that they also have encryption. They have the capability to offer encryption files. So you're able to encrypt, which means when you encrypt your files, you're making not visible. So only people that have the access can read the data. Otherwise, is random letters, and you're not going to be able to read it. Another cool thing of Prot On is that you can manage permissions. So you can choose, for example, who can read it, who can print it, who can edit the document, or who can copy and paste to someone else. So a really cool also point of Prot On. Another really cool thing is that you can track your documents. So you can see who, when, and from where has been accessing any existing copy of your documents. So just overview here, it's for you to see. As you can see, this is a dashboard of Prot On, so you can track your document use. As I mentioned, where you can see the IPs here on the devices. So it's a pretty cool tool for you to keep pretty much control of your files. Another really cool thing is that protection works dynamically. Once you protonize your file at any time, even after it has been distributed, you still have total control of the file. you cannot just going back. You can also change permissions remotely, which is pretty cool. Sorry, I just want to go back and mention that. And just the Proton, the last version of Proton, which is the V3, introduced important changes, for example. So one of the cool things that they're providing is information classification, DLP rules in Microsoft Office and Outlook, and control of versions and content integrity. Also, you are able to monitor services and protect based in security policy. That's pretty cool too. You can build your policies around it. So the classification tool is really cool too of Proton, which is complements the RAM features of Proton and allows implementation information classification policies. You can define your own levels of, like, for example, you can do a confidential, restricted, and top secret. You can actually classify the files, so you can put them in different areas and make sure that you can pinpoint if there is any usage, wrong usage, and stop that. That's another cool thing. And the roadmap, which also content exploring for automatic classification. So just going a little bit over the data leak also. Additionally, one of the cool things that Proton provide is to force you to classify Office documents, for example, also to Outlook and also attachments. So you can make sure that you have full control at the end of the day. Another really cool thing about Proton, Proton is also part of a big group called CMC, and Group CMC also offers a 24/7 events monitoring service. So this is used to identify unauthorized uses of protected information and inform the company that owns the information. So it's a very active, proactive kind of service that anything that is seen as a kind of a threat will be reported to you. Another cool thing about Proton is how easy it is to integrate. I want to remark that Proton is not only a storage service, but a complement to this. It means that your files are protected anywhere, in personal devices, private clouds like SharePoint, for example, and public Google Drive. So it doesn't matter where your files, where it's being shared, you always have control with it with Proton. And also, with this architecture, Proton enables 4 different ways for protecting files, becoming the most flexible solution to accommodate customer-specific use cases. With this architecture, Proton enables 4 different ways. As you can see here, Proton Client App, Proton Web Client, and we're going from the other side. Proton includes the concept of protonized folders. Protonize a folder consists in associating a protection policy to a folder in the file system, and then Proton agent monitors the folder to apply the policy automatically to every file that we drop to the folder. This feature is powerful in enterprise environments when it's applied to shared folders in the organization's network. Again, going down to the third option, with these architectures, also you can see that Proton also can protonize folders on the Windows services, and also in the connectors. Proton is a RESTful API, so that's pretty good. Business model for Proton. Our business model consists of a subscription services in both SaaS solutions and on-premise models. So it's pretty much how Proton offer their services. But additionally, one of the cool things that Proton can give a great attribute is the virality of social network, as when we protect a file is for sharing it with others, and both. Product and business model are designed for easy interoperability among all type of users. So that's really cool because as you can see here is the business model for interoperability is that you can have on premises and also SaaS as an enterprise services and freemium services. So pretty much just covering in terms of verticals. Proton can help SMBs from any side. It could be B2B or even individuals. So that's one cool thing that it also protect also your personal files, and also you can move from SMBs to big governments and agencies to enterprise level. So that's really cool about Proton. And I guess from me, that's pretty much it. I know I promised to let some to answer questions at the end. So let's give a few some time for people to write them down, and I'll answer them. Okay, I can see there's one question already. Let's just give a little more time. Okay, so I can see here that the first question is what type of business normally Proton work with? Great question. Great. As you can see in my last slide, I was able to pretty much say that Proton, in terms of verticals, can cater any size or any type of service at the end of the day file. So it could be the personal also, and up to huge enterprise business. So at the end of the day, they work with different verticals. But if just to pinpoint here and just to see where we're seeing more traction in terms of Proton, for example, in the UK, and where some of the larger organizations come from is the education sector. And I'll mention why. So as we know now with the remote working side of things, even for students, for classes, things are jumping into the remote environment, which means in the internet, and which means that professors and teachers, they have to share their content, which at the end of the day could be confidential content, could be quizzes, could be lessons, for example, PowerPoint lessons, and maybe extra material that at the end of the day that's is confidential and is just target only for those students. And we are seeing a lot of DLP on those cases because those type of documents are being shared in the internet. So that's not good. So one of the things that Proton is coming very handy is for the education sectors, for them, for the professors and the staff to be able to really target who is asking those documents, who is going after the PowerPoint, and control it and make sure only the students in that course are able to access. So that's one of the cool things that we are seeing Proton do. And of course, also you're seeing the financial sectors are also using a lot, for example, to share confidential documents that could be very problematic if it goes in the hands of, for example, a cyber criminal, a hacktivist who can get some financial numbers and be able to share in the internet. And for example, the stock market of that company could exchange. So it's just things that Proton can come very handy, and to make sure that confidential information doesn't go to the wrong hands. So yeah, hope that was a good example. And another question that I really like here from one of the attendees is it possible to try somehow? Of course. So most definitely, cool thing about Proton is that they know how good they are, and they want you to try it to make sure that they're that good. So they're offering free trials for any company that would like to try it out, the file sharing and using the policies of Proton. So if you have interest in learning a little bit more about Proton, either to use it in your company or to partner with some other end user and offer to them, I'm happy to discuss it. So please drop me an email at cyberinquiries@Technorizon Group, or even at my personal email, and we can definitely help you out and put the license across to you, and you can start securing your files in the internet. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much from me. I'd like to thank everyone that took their time today to join us. And next week we will be covering, again, every Thursday we run a topic on cybersecurity, and next week we're going to be covering network access control simpler with Portnox. I hope everyone have a great week and stay safe. Take care.